everyone, a lot of big news coming in from startups and investment firms today. I'm Radhika Udas and you are with me on the Daily Dispatch. Today's top stories include Swiggy, SoftBank, and M-Fine. Once again in the news today, food delivery giant Swiggy has said its daily grocery delivery service, that is Super Daily, will now have a separate business unit with Bundle Technologies. Swiggy's co-founder Funny Kishan will be taking the lead for this entity as the CEO. With this move, Super's functions of HR, admin, legal, IT, and finance will be integrated into relevant functions with Swiggy. A second story today reports suggest that technology investor SoftBank is in talks to back e-commerce firm GlobalBees. Reports also mention that SoftBank is looking to lead a $100 million financing round through a convertible note. This means that SoftBank will reportedly invest in debt that will be converted into equity in the future. A third story today, digital health startup M-Fine has raised $48 million in its Series C funding round. The financing round was co-led by Moose Strategic Ventures and BNext. Their existing investors such as Stellaris Venture Partners, SBI Group Japan, Altaria Capital, among others, also participated. Now, M-Fine is looking to build one of the largest virtual hospitals to make quality healthcare more accessible with the use of AI and mobile technologies.
Well, moving on to our second segment, I have with me someone who's launched a new brand in the market and has been consistently innovating over the last couple of months in this pandemic. I have with me Viraj Behel from Viva. Thank you very much, Viraj, for joining us today. Before I get to the launch of the new products, I want to talk to you a little bit about your journey in the pandemic. What's been the kind of response that you've received? You've been innovating through the pandemic. So tell us a little bit about how the journey's been.
Hi, Priya. Thanks for having me. Frankly, the last year has been really look at it this way, the last financial year and this financial year, and hopefully we don't see another wave, but both the financial years have been 9-month financial years, right? Because first quarters of both years were badly affected. And we did see a huge, spike in our retail business because of the pandemic. As you know, Viva is, we've got two divisions. One is our distribution and that division, and the other is our B2B division, where we supply sauces to Domino's, KFC, etc. Not like Domino's, Burger King, and all the other brands. We did see food service taking a hit initially, and then then when people were comfortable eating outside food service also came back to normal. The demand was not the problem. The problem was more the logistics. Viva has a very, very large footprint across the country. We are available in more than 550 towns across the country and more than 100,000 points of sale. Now, our biggest challenge as an organization was not the demand side, but for the first quarter we could not put stocks out there. Second quarter we started reaching our top 100 cities again, but it took us almost 6-7 months to reach our entire sales universe. So if you see effectively, I mean, the cities like Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, everybody does well. The distribution is good everywhere. Viva's strength is that you will see us in all our glory in, let's say, a Madurai or a Trivandrum or a Vellore or a Philor in near Ludhiana. That is where we face problems. We were not being able to reach tier 2, tier 3 for the first 6-7 months of the pandemic. But now I'm happy to report that things are looking much brighter. Logistics is no longer a challenge. Yes, we are a bit, because our plants are in two of our plants are in North India and Rajasthan. So the farmer agitation, there's a bit of a transportation issue here and there, but business is almost back to normal, and touch wood, God willing, it stays normal and we don't see another wave. But now we can finally say, the bad time is behind us.
Right, the worst time is behind you, and so many other brands have echoed the same sentiment. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the new launches that you're coming up with. You all have launched organic hummus as well. It's a new brand that you launched. But I'm talking mostly about the pipeline in terms of what kind of launches we can expect and what it really means for you.
So, I mean, the thing is, the pandemic, we were blessed with a lot of free time as well, right? So there is this. We've launched this range. We've launched a new brand. The brand is called Earthmade Organics. Now, Earthmade Organics is going to be, I am a food entrepreneur. I am a product driven entrepreneur, and I have a lot of passion for developing. As you can see from Viva's entire range, we've got more than 70 products in retail, and I like to develop new products. So my craving for creating top class products where the millennial health conscious customer can go to, I created this brand called Earthmade Organics. Earthmate Organics is going to be India's premium organic food brand. So it's just so that we've launched with organic hummus and some dips and relishes, but you will see this brand launching a lot more. So all our organic things right now in India are limited to, organic rice or organic tea. They're more commodities. Nobody's making processed organic food because it entails, sourcing 100 organic ingredients and then making a product out of which, and frankly it's a lot of work. So but I wanted to bring to India something which is new, something different. So Earthmate Organics is India's first processed food organic brand. And our second brand, which we're in fact launching this week, is Provi, which is a child nutrition brand. It's a milk additive. It is India's first plant protein based health food. So what you and I used to have as kids, just mix it in your milk and have it, but it is plant protein based. And for the first, we're taking it mainstream. There's no sugar. It's made with jaggery. We spoke to more than 100 mothers, got feedback from moms what they want to give. So mothers told us, three things very clearly. I don't want to give my kids sugar. Jaggery is good, but no sugar. Plant protein is something which is very, very, everybody's talking about it. Plant protein is not only good for your body, it's also good for the earth in general. It's much more sustainable. So we wanted to, Viva is responsible for bringing new age products into the country. So Provi is bringing plant protein, jaggery, and, things for the kids' brain, these kind of ingredients to the forefront. So we're really excited. Two big launches in the last 1 year, Earthmate Organics and now Provi.
I was saying that, does this mean that Viva is looking at more healthier options as well into the market? Because if you look at this jaggery-based drink, it also falls under the umbrella of healthy or homemade, alternatives. So are you looking at this kind of category to tap?
Yeah. So see, the thing is, what we have done, Priya, is that we've been able to. I know of companies which are far, far older than us who do not have a national footprint. And we've been able to build this beautiful national footprint. So you'll be shocked to know. I don't know if you can call Viva a startup anymore, but out of all the startups, you'll be shocked to know that out of our retail revenue, usually startups are associated with online and general trade and online and modern trade and those kind of things. Out of Viva's retail revenue, more than 70% of our revenue comes from general trade, the traditional shops across the country. 30% comes from modern trade and online. Now, we are present in every modern trade or online format present. Our own website does really well. But we are building more of a traditional, distribution. If you see me, my hair is all gray. It wasn't gray before I became serious about distribution. So this distribution is what has made my hair gray. I'm balding and graying and everything because 550 towns and 100,000 outlets. So distribution is where the challenge lies, and we are, that is what is setting Viva apart. So now we've got this beautiful pan-India distribution, the idea, and we've got a beautiful innovation capability. Now, the idea is to plug in both the things, what all, like if you ever visit our R&D center, we've got 8 food scientists working on the best, recipes, cutting edge new products. I myself, as I said, I'm a food entrepreneur. So we create great products. We've got a great distribution. So you will see Viva launching more and more things where we connect our innovation prowess to our distribution strength. And that's the idea. And giving, I genuinely am a very proud Indian. I want to give India, the best of what is available in the world. And for the first time, this time, imagine Provi, we're using Indian superfoods. no food company has done it mainstream. We're bringing, ragi, jaggery, plant protein. We're putting all of that into Provi. So, mothers told us they want to give their kids ragi. Some smaller brands are doing really good work with ragi, but I thought let's take it national. So, ragi based health food drink, or, as I said, jaggery and plant protein. So these are the things we're trying to do. So distribution strength and our innovation capability, trying to marry both of them.
Right, that's an interesting perspective. I want to understand in terms of investments and further expansion, considering that you have a robust pipeline planned and also R&D happening side by side. What kind of investments would you want to do in this coming financial year? What's been planned?
We might do a small investment, maybe between 6 to 10 crores. But you have to understand the plant for Provi and all of that was set up in the last financial, because of the pandemic, the launch got delayed. So a lot of money, a new plant, all of that was invested in sometime before this. So it's just so happened that we're using it this year. The plant was lying ready for some time. We just couldn't use it. So this year is going to be low, but in the last years we have invested more than 5 times of the figures I've just mentioned in the last couple of years on capex alone. I'm not including marketing, and I'm not including other things. I mean, hiring someone like SRK itself is a very expensive proposition whom we did 2 years back. So all of those are aside. So capex and marketing, we're investing both, and we're also investing a lot in distribution. Our honorable opposition, since they were doing business, nobody invested in taking these products wide and far. So we were hungry for business, so we took the responsibility of taking them far and deep, and so we're spending a lot of money there as well.
Right. In terms of revenue targets, what kind of targets do you have for FY22? And is there a short to medium term target that you set?
See, I don't have any revenue targets for FY22. We are a mid 3-digit revenue company. Our idea, again, this is going to sound very, very romantic, but I want to be India's most loved food company and India's fastest growing food company. If we are always fastest growing, one day we'll be a very large revenue company also. God has been very kind. We're probably one of the largest sauce companies of the country, but the idea is to keep growing fast. So I frankly, it's come as a shock. It'll come as a shock to you, but I do not put annual. My only thing is every sales that we do every month should be slightly more than what we did last month. And at the end of the year, it turns into a good 30-40% growth rate. But the idea is just keep your head down and keep growing and make products. My nightmare is, Priya, I go to some public get together, and someone asks me, what do you do? And I say, I run Viva, and then, oh, what horrible products. That is my nightmare. So usually what happens with me is when I tell them about Viva, they say, oh wow, come, let me introduce you to my wife. We use this at your house, we use this, my kid loves this. And that is what drives me. I mean, yes, the revenue is extremely important, but what drives me is how much people love our products. And I focus on that. I focus on creating great products and building distribution, building plants. Viva hires on grassroots levels our plants. We've got large plants, so that is what drives me. Revenue comes, if we do everything right, revenue comes.
Right. Virat, I want to understand how important are inorganic acquisitions or inorganic growth for you. We've seen Wingreens, and they've also been making a lot of acquisitions. They made a large acquisition with Raw as well. So I want to understand with you at Viva, what kind of inorganic strategy will you be following?
See, the thing is, I am not against inorganic growth. I'm not against acquisitions at all. But it has to match the valuation. I cannot, we are not one of those startups, or again, we're not one of those companies which goes and raises money to buy a company. I am very, very keen acquisitions, but they have to come at the right valuation. I feel some of the companies, the valuations, the 2-3 companies that I have looked at seriously for acquisition, the valuations these days people are asking for, sometimes I think they don't make sense. Having been on the raise side also, I don't ask for those valuations. So neither do I ask for those valuations. nor am I, kind of willing to give those kind of valuations. And but saying that if something truly good, and we were very close to buying one company, some quarters back, but post pandemic, but it didn't work out for us in the end. So if something great comes across, definitely. The idea is, what we are looking for is, imagine there's a regional player in West India which is struggling with its distribution. It's only West focused. Someone like that whom we can acquire and then push it through our national distribution. But to be honest, the two companies I looked at very closely, we're very close to acquiring one of them. Roughly, I look at a company a month. But the valuation demands are outright crazy. It doesn't make sense. And I don't ask for the same numbers when I go out raising. So how can I give the same number, right? It's not.
Right. All right, Viraj. We look forward to that acquisition and we wish you all the very best for your new launches. It's really been a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you so much for being a part of the Daily Dispatch.
With that, we come to the end of this episode. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Have a good day and stay safe.